inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad.
So tell me what color it is.
We're going to be on that rocket.
I could make it a little bit longer. Did you see it? Okay, so everybody's looking at the rocket because it is kind of cool and impressive. One of the coolest things happening over there right now, though, is it's on top of a giant tractor.
Doesn't all food come in like tubes? It's in these like little plastic bags. You have to like rehydrate it. There's not. I haven't seen sushi in space. It's probably hard to keep that back.
Sushi mashed together.
My favorite part was this one little girl, she had a question. She had patiently held her hand for a long time, and Christina turns to her and says, okay, what's your question? She just goes, I forgot. It was like, that's a perfect little kid moment. I just love.
Wait, are you my mother's cats too, an astronaut?
What? Say that again?
Never mind. It's a little hard to say.
Go Artemis!
These two? Yeah. You can put it in. Yeah.
There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut back there. It's just so fun to see the enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement and, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
I know,
gonna
he
ask.
goes, but I'm glad you're here. Now here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago. And now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and it's amazing. People from all around the world came here today to Florida to watch. So it's something. It's hard to put into words just how much support for this mission we're seeing today.
And great news too. Remember, the team was tracking an issue with the launch abort system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue, so we are go for launch.
Yes, it's exciting.
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis II crew sitting right there inside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window, and right now we are targeting the top of that launch window, so we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow, I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Yeah, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams here on the ground that made this happen. They are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And, as the crew likes to say, they want to be the shoulders that the next generation.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001.
I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule, integrity, representing humility and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B, with Orion and SLS poised to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby, so I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes from the opening of our launch window today. And so with that, as we approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in firing room 1. Daryl.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole, and just want to give you an update on the launch abort system that you just reported that they cleared. They believe, they're convinced this is an instrumentation failure. So there are 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule is inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, I'm sorry. One of the 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure, that there's something wrong with the sensor. And so they took it before the mission management team, which has to accept the risk, any changes to launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned. And one quick thing as we count down now, we are getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window, and that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window that they cannot launch. And these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis 1 when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for comm check?
Good, comm. How me?
I hear the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC is on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA Test Director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints, but we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA Test Director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. And you're seeing the clock count down at L-minus 12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, Earth1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with sea ice and with MER manager regarding the observation the sea ice had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a sea ice or MER manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director, NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC, CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration is complete.
Copy.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
GLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes, but we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of count. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
CVSE OTC. CVSE 400-290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent.
Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming.
Copy.
NTD, COSE, hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004, S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this is transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit. So I guess the question for COSE, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the affected LCC, please?
Yes, ma'am. That's going to be O-CT-004.
Thank you.
Yeah, us taking a look at the data right here, looks like that was a single sample.
Yeah, copy that. RFTS does report that they also lost lock for about 5 seconds. So I would love to ask KUS and see if they also lost lock with the vehicle for any extended amount of period.
And COSE, while we're doing that, these are 1/10 hertz measurements, correct? So we would have had to lose it for over 10 seconds to get a second sample?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It is 1/10 hertz.
Yeah, so from our perspective, the allowance is effectively up to 30 seconds, up to 3 samples based on the 1/10 hertz. This is not an LCC violation, I believe.
Yes, sir, I would agree with that at this point. Copy that.
We're checking with KUS on 232. I don't think they have 212 access. We're trying to verify, but it sounds like they have a loss of lock as well. About 2 seconds.
Okay. And I guess for both KUS and COSE, do we have lock now?
That's affirmed. We do have lock for COSE.
Yeah, so from the integration console perspective, we did have a temporary loss there within the allowable, and per the requirement, let's go.
This is Houston Flight. We have lock and we have good telemetry here in GSC.
And KUS has reported too, they have good lock now. So with all of that, OSC, then are we in a go configuration per your LCC?
Yes, sir. Recommendation would be go.
Okay. LPE, you concur with that?
Yes, sir. LPE concurs go.
And Launch Director?
Yes, sir. Launch Director concurs go.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just verify everybody has everything else complete, Launch Director, and if we do, we'll be ready to pick up the poll at that time, unless there's something else that you're aware of.
No, sir. Let's verify all our work is complete, and I would like one last check of our constraints list.
All right, let's see. OTC, are you still waiting for ComConfig, or are you complete?
That is affirmed, sir.
Okay, yeah, your only open item?
Yeah, OTC, this is CVSC. That 400 step 290 is complete. Copy.
Okay, so OTC, you're complete with all your work?
That's affirmed.
All right, copy that. STC?
STC is complete.
And GTC?
GTC is complete.
Okay, excellent. All right, and LPE, just want to verify we have no open constraints at this time.
No open constraints. We have a clear board, sir.
Okay, tracking the same here. And Launch Director, with that, we are clear and ready to pick up the launch readiness poll with your go.
All right, sir. I am go for the poll.
All right. And for all personnel, this is the NTD conducting the Artemis II launch readiness check. Verify ready to resume count and go for launch. OTC.
GTC is go.
STC.
STC is go.
GTC.
C's go.
MCO.
TO's go.
Safety Console.
The Safety Console is go.
LPE.
LPE's go.
RTD.
RTD's go.
Houston Flight.
Houston Flight is go.
ROC.
ROC is go.
And CDR.
Crews go.
Copy that. Thank you, Reed. And Launch Director NTD, our launch team is ready to proceed at this time.
All right, NTD, I copy all. At this time, I'll perform my poll.
Hello?
Attention on the net. This is the Launch Director performing the final poll for launch, verifying no constraints, and go for launch. EGS, Program Chief Engineer.
Artemis Chief Engineers are go.
Copy, thank you. EGS, Chief Safety Officer.
The Artemis CSOs are go.
Copy, thank you. Range Weather.
Launch weather is go.
Thank you, LWO. And Artemis MMT Chair.
MMTs go.
Thank you, John. And Integrity Launch Director.
What?
Good Airways, Charlie, PLT.
Thank you, Charlie. This is Victor. We are going for our families.
MS1.
This is Christina. We are going for our teammates.
MS2. This is Jeremy. We are going for all humanity. All right, Charlie, our Artemis II crew is go for launch. Full send.
I copy that. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. On this historic mission, you take with you the heart of this Artemis team, the daring spirit of the American people and our partners across the globe, and the hopes and dreams of a new generation. Good luck. Godspeed, Artemis II. Let's go. And NTD Launch Director.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Yes, sir. You have a go to proceed with countdown.
Copy that. I'll put it in work. CDR, NTD.
Go.
Your risers and initiate short purge per your EPROC 10.1.1, steps 8 and 9.
10.1.1, 8 and 9 going to work.
Copy. CVSC NTD, start and verify recordings of our Orion cameras.
Copy.
Okay. Well, there you heard it.
RSR NTD.
RSR.
They're getting ready to start terminal count.
Arm rotation enable at this time, please.
It's currently at T-minus 10 minutes.
Chừng đồng hồ điều phóng hay sao á? Okay.
Once we wrap up this last bit of work,
cũng nhiều người Việt
we're going to start that clock.
Copy that, thank you.
Integrity crew, close and lock visors.
À, cho ông hỗ trợ được cái thứ tư thôi hen. Ê, không có tiếng.
You heard an issue, worked in real time with telemetry lock on the Orion. It was transitory. It was very short. They checked the data, confirmed that they had a good lock. This was with the S-band transmitter on the Orion. Worked through that issue, looked at the data, and cleared it. All with the world watching. Impressive work by the launch team.
Đang coi trực tiếp mà tua cái gì mày?
So we have a 2-hour window, which starts in just a few minutes at 6:24 p.m. Eastern Time and goes until 8:24 p.m. Eastern Time.
And ECL NTD will be waiting for your verification on the short purge. ECL copies. And for all personnel, once we get that short purge verification, we'll verify that we are clear to go, and then we'll proceed with the terminal count.
Hình như sắp rồi. Ủa có.
ECL time estimate?
About a minute.
Copy.
5 minute hả? Mới nghe gì 5 minute? What? Sắp chưa.
So we're going into the launch window, but not by much, it looks like. Just wrapping up some final work. And once that's completed, you'll hear NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding ask for the ground launch sequencer operator to go ahead and start the clock. The ground launch sequencer is an application software. It runs on top of the launch control system in the firing room, acts like a conductor of an orchestra, executing hundreds of commands in precise order and timing. It's all autonomous.
NTD CCL 212, short purge initiation is verified.
All right, copy that, and we're verifying our constraints.
Đang coi trực tiếp nó không có cái chế độ dịch thuật trực tiếp hen. Chưa kịp ăn xong bát mì nữa.
All right, and we're clear from cutouts. And with that, we're going to resume the clock momentarily. And CGLS, you can resume the clock on your mark.
GLS copies. 3, 2, 1, mark. GLS mainline has been initiated.
T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
Tiến ngược tiếp rồi kìa.
And that begins terminal count. Our new T0 is 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We are now counting down to liftoff of Artemis II. From now on, you're going to hear two voices on the loops. If everything goes nominally, NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding, who's directly managing the launch team, and Alex Bendelos, the GLS operator who closely monitors the software. He has the ability to stop and restart the countdown. A lot of people ask about whether there's a launch button. There certainly is not.
Flight and Rock, our new T0 is 22:35:12.
Houston flight copies. 22:35:12.
Affirm.
There you heard confirmation of the exact T0, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Again, our T0 is 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. But as I was saying, there's no launch button. This is autonomous. But there is a button that keeps you from launching, and that button allows the GLS operator to pause the countdown outside of terminal count and during terminal count and submit a hold to the next holding point. So the clock won't stop right away. If there's an issue, we'll go to the next stable holding point.
Tới cái màn hình này là chuẩn bị phóng tới rồi đúng
This is
không?
how GLS configures the rocket and ground systems to a stable point where they can stop the countdown if that's needed. But right now, we are counting down. Our next big milestone, looking to retract the crew access arm.
GLS is go for crew access arm retract.
And there you see the crew access arm moving away.
Đúng rồi, đừng có delay tới
That's
điểm
the
delay
path
tôi.
that the astronauts
Trễ
took
quá
to
không được. Chắc không
ingress
delay
into the
tới
rocket.
tầm 6:30 thôi hen.
Until this point, that was their way off the pad if they
Cảnh này
needed to
lâu rồi.
evacuate. But now with that arm retracting, the backup transitions to
Ở
a
hai cái
launch
bơm.
abort system. And they'll begin arming that shortly.
Cái này là cái giữ tên lửa à? Cái
Of course, the launch abort system. Great shot there of the crew access arm retracting away.
Lâu.
The launch abort system is the
Em mày nghe
tower
giùm
at
tao
the
có
top.
cái tiếng mày
That's
trên
where
ngoài.
they pull Orion and its crew off the top of the rocket in case of an emergency, whether it's on the ground or in flight. This is critical safety
Cũng
hardware
có
that
kênh nước
protects
ngoài
the
cũng đang
lives
live nè.
of the astronauts.
What NASA send human to the moon. 158.000 người đang xem.
Starting at T-6 minutes, the GLS will start bringing that and other high energy systems online, starting with core stage pressurization.
Biết con Mac Cooper có like mà.
Tao nghĩ là không á. Tranh thủ đá mày.
Weather is 90%
Nửa tô
go.
luôn.
The range is go. All systems are go.
GLS is go for core stage tank pressurization.
That means the replenish valve for the liquid hydrogen tank has now closed, and that tank is beginning to pressurize to flight levels because that hydrogen is naturally boiling inside the tank.
Tất cả chỉ là một độ cá tháng tư.
We'll get the liquid oxygen tank a little later in the count.
Khó lên mở cổng rồi, không có trời tới tháng 4 rồi, ở bút cái tháng 4
Now
rồi.
the team is waiting for verification that if needed, the Artemis II crew could use the launch abort system to pull Orion safely off the top of the rocket in an emergency. Let's listen in for that call.
GLS verifies last capability available.
And CDR, do you copy?
CDR copies, last available.
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay, so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety
for
first.
LH2 high flow bleed check.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
Nha, mút bàn với nền phóng tên lửa cực chiêu.
GLS is go for core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units, high-speed turbines which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen.
Đợi lâu quá. Đợi từ tháng 2 tới giờ.
Đúng rồi.
Coming up in about 20 seconds, we're listening for go for purge sequence 4.
Delay quá rồi luôn.
It's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propeller.
Tao nghĩ là nếu mà còn lượt delay là bữa nay là chưa hóng nữa.
Tới bữa thứ bảy luôn mà. Tới bữa 7 tháng 4 thôi luôn hay gì á.
Gì hả?
Không thì delay nữa.
Hấp rồi.
Bao phút.
All is looking good.
Tao hy vọng là ba lên trển không có thấy ánh sáng xanh nha.
Coming up in just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines. There are the 4 RS-25s, 3 of them, shuttle heritage, 1 of them built from shuttle parts. And there you see them moving.
Nó xả nhiên liệu nãy giờ chứ không phải cho nó hết.
From both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal.
Xả nhiên liệu để nhẹ bớt. Tháo dở cho nó về.
GLS is go for upper stage to internal power.
Mỹ kiểu dạo này chiến tranh mà anh còn dư tiền quá để anh làm tí cho nữa.
The ICPS, and it's been switched to battery. Same milestone for the lower core stage coming up at T-minus 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Bá dầu này.
Right now, the 4-person Artemis II crew is 248,000 miles away from the moon. And if all goes well, they will fly by it in 6 days.
Yeah, đi 2 minute lên phiêu lâu.
Hình như nghe đâu đó khoảng 2028 nó đáp lên mặt trăng nữa nè.
Which houses 3 flight computers is now on its own
power. Giờ là lên
There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
Mới có đi vòng quanh quỹ đạo. Nhưng mà chúng ta sẽ có ảnh 4K về mặt trăng.
Okay.
1 minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer.
Bốn mấy gì nữa?
The rocket will count itself down.
Bốn chục.
Come from the ground. Now, shortly after liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS is go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
Go. Đếm ngược rồi.
10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit.
Chạy.
3, 2, 1. Booster ignition.
Ui.
A crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Cái gì hôi rồi? Ui.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Cam nét phết.
Nhiều lúc nhanh phết. Chờ mãi cái ngày này.
Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines, Space Launch System core stage. Integrity, 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Ở bên mình chứ không thấy cái vệt đó thôi.
Mày ra coi thử không?
Ui, cái gì? Vàng khè vậy? Nhìn đẹp phết.
Nếu mà bờ đông nước Mỹ, bờ đông mà bờ Tây rồi.
1.200 dặm trên giờ.
Last time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
Ngã vô quỹ đạo ta.
Ủa nãy giờ nó có nhả mấy cái phần dưới chưa ta?
Chưa.
Mới bay mà.
Đang cạn cái gì? Thấy hết khấu vàng này.
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation, expected at the 2-minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down.
Kho tải.
Nhả.
Separation. Main engine throttling
Nhả.
Rồi, nhả hai cái bút chì,
Nhả hai cái bút chì rồi. Hello, qua tăng khí quyển ơi.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal,
upper
stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
SM priming complete.
2 minutes 45 seconds of mission
hai
elapsed
cái bút
time
chì
into the
xong
Artemis II mission. Thrusters on
mất cái
Integrity
khối xong rồi cái không
and
thấy nó
upper
luôn.
stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation.
Sáng như ta.
Nhìn
3 minutes into the flight, Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
Ê, mấy cái mây nó bị tách phớt. Ôi cái cam. Ê, nó mới tách thêm độ xuống được không? Rớt 2 miếng gì?
Cái nhiều khi bên mình lắm nữa.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Hình như là phải tính toán sao cho nó rớt xuống biển đúng không?
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Đây chỉ canh cái tiện cái đầu hay phụ tùng tên lửa nó rớt xuống nước mình. Ấy cái khối nó cong hơn tao tưởng.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Kármán line.
Outstanding, Stan. We have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen crossed the boundary to space with good comm checks.
Ui,
GPS
quá đẹp
signals
vậy.
acquired after last jettison now working on internal checks to verify accuracy.
Đâu có cột mây của hổng?
Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
Không chỉ là chú
Nó nhìn như siêu âm đường ruột vậy mày. Nội soi.
Nội soi tầng khí quyển.
Phút bù giờ thứ 4 rồi. Trời cái cam. Má thấy cái cam nó nghị lực rồi.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Cái cam mà đánh toán đi mà cam gì đâu.
Đúng là nó phải chịu một đống rung lắc xong rồi chịu phát hiện ở trển xong rồi gặp tín hiệu kém nữa truyền về không được gì trơn.
Integrity 3 engine press.
Thì cái này có khi nào trên đầu mà.
3 engine press.
Kiếm mà có không? Mà thấy may không?
On time now, passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Integrity, looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Ê, tao muốn coi cái góc nhìn ở ngoài không gian nhưng mà tiếc quá.
good trajectory and engine performance.
Kèm nó
Booster
quá mà.
officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Freeling expected at the
Ý
7
sắp tới
minute
cái
mark.
giai đoạn cắt bỏ động cơ chính này rồi.
Integrity 78
gần 12.000
miles
mét
in
trên giờ.
altitude, 460 miles downrange.
Ủa, cái mét hay là dặm?
Mai là dặm.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
6 minutes 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds into the flight. Seven minutes of mission elapsed time.
Cứ mỗi lần chuyển lên cam trên đây.
Throttling down
cái
as
sáng
we
sáng kia là
approach
mặt
the
trời
abort
hả?
once around option. Milestone
Như
at
vậy.
the 7 minute 30 second mark.
Hay là
Now 84 miles
hay
in
là động
altitude,
cơ.
650
động cơ.
miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity AOA open.
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once
Hình
around
như nếu mà
option.
coi
That
từ
will
ngoài không
target
gian thì mặt
splashdown
trời
in
đâu
the
có màu
Pacific
được không?
Ocean. Still
Màu trắng.
following nominal ascent at this time.
I don't know.
About 10
16.000
seconds
dặm.
remaining
Giờ.
until the main engine cutoff of the Space Launch System core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
91 mai là bao nhiêu?
Không biết nữa. Gì vậy? À, tách cái
Integrity and nominal MECO core stage separated.
We see the same on board, Stan.
nó mới tách cái gì không biết nữa.
À, tách động cơ chính rồi.
8 minutes 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal main engine cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the interim cryogenic propulsion stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft.
Ok, lên lửa lần nữa.
9 minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
À, nó cập nhật định kỳ, đúng không?
Cái thắc mắc là
Integrity Houston looking ahead to
nó bay
PRM
qua bên
numbers
kia
so
rồi.
far per the
Còn cái
pad.
đầu không gì không biết nữa.
Copy that, Stan. Numbers
Không
for the
biết là
pad.
nó tận dụng quỹ đạo nhưng mà nó tận dụng quỹ đạo thì nó phóng đi kiểu gì.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to booster ignition.
Ủa mày nó có đứng không hả?
That
Nó
time
cứ
being
ở bên
49
đó
minutes,
nó ngồi nó
50
giới thiệu vậy đó.
seconds of mission elapsed time.
Rồi chắc xong.
Vậy từ còn nữa không ta? Chưa có mở cánh năng lượng mặt trời nữa kìa.
Integrity good. Neds deploy.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
And Integrity Houston for PWD setup. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
We copy that, Stan. Halfway open.
passing 11 minutes of mission elapsed time. Here, overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed. Complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up. Now past the dynamic phase of flight, that is ascent. Their launch and entry suits that provided them an extra layer of protection. Now not as needed. They're going to raise those visors. And later in today's mission, they will begin to egress or get out of the suits to begin some of their initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft. It's passing 12 minutes of mission elapsed time. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that's targeted near 50 minutes of mission elapsed time, 49 minutes, 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards. The Commander Reed Wiseman pilot Victor Glover will focus on preparing for that milestone. In the meantime, mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen will start some of the activation of environmental control life support systems. You may hear confirmation of their activation over the Orion to Earth communication network.
Châu Trường có tiếp. Giờ đi học.
Houston, C3 aux power back in auto.
Copy C3 aux, and we're 2 minutes to maneuver.
"13 minutes and 30 seconds of mission elapsed time. We're going to continue to follow the crew of the Artemis II mission. They are beginning their journey around the moon to verify the systems that will take us to its surface. An incredible ascent. Artemis II is underway. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen begin their journey to the moon. Still milestones to come up as we await solar array deploy and the critical burns that will get Integrity into high Earth orbit around the Earth before engines are fired to get us around the moon. We'll keep tabs on Integrity and its crew from here in Mission Control Houston.
Okay.
But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center. Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the